Tibet, 2008. A Chinese military sniper lined up what should have been a routine 400-meter shot. Textbook conditions, stationary target, perfect visibility. He squeezed the trigger of his Type 88 rifle, China's supposed copy of America's legendary M24 sniper system. The bullet missed by 3 feet. He fired again. Another miss, this time by 2 feet in a different direction. 6 shots, 6 misses, at a range where American M24s could consistently hit man-sized targets. The sniper threw down his rifle in frustration, not knowing that across China, hundreds of snipers were discovering the same horrifying truth. Their rifles couldn't hit anything reliably, and the Chinese government had known this for years.
The weapon that redefined precision. The M24 sniper weapon system, adopted by the U.S. Army in 1988, represented the culmination of decades of American experience in precision rifle development. Built around the Remington 700 Action, one of the most reliable and accurate rifle actions ever designed, the M24 could consistently place shots within a few inches at 800 meters in the hands of trained snipers. Every aspect of the M24 was optimized for accuracy. The barrel was cold hammer forged from high-grade ordnance steel, then precisely crowned and chambered. The stock was made from composite materials that wouldn't warp from temperature or moisture changes. The trigger was adjustable to a crisp, consistent pull weight. The scope mounting system maintained 0 even under the harshest conditions. And the ammunition was match-grade, manufactured to tolerances far tighter than standard military rounds. American military snipers equipped with M24s could engage individual targets at ranges exceeding 800 meters with high probability of first-round hits. This capability transformed infantry tactics, allowing small sniper teams to control large areas denied terrain to enemies and eliminate high-value targets with surgical precision. In conflicts from Iraq to Afghanistan, M24-equipped snipers proved their worth repeatedly, achieving confirmed kills at ranges that seemed impossible. For Chinese military observers watching American forces dominate battlefields through superior marksmanship and equipment, the M24 represented exactly the kind of precision warfare capability China desperately needed. Chinese infantry snipers still used rifles based on 1960s Soviet designs, adequate for shorter ranges but incapable of the precision and range modern conflicts demanded. The obvious solution to Chinese leadership was to acquire M24 technology and produce Chinese copies. If Chinese factories could manufacture M24 equivalents, Chinese snipers would gain the same precision engagement capabilities that American snipers enjoyed. The cost savings compared to purchasing Western rifles would be enormous, and domestic production would eliminate dependence on foreign suppliers. This assumption would prove catastrophically wrong, exposing fundamental weaknesses in Chinese precision manufacturing that no amount of espionage or reverse engineering could overcome.
The acquisition and the illusion. Chinese intelligence services acquired detailed information about the M24 through multiple channels during the 1990s and early 2000s. Some intelligence came from examining rifles captured or purchased in various conflict zones. Additional data was obtained through cyber espionage, targeting U.S. military procurement systems and defense contractors. And Chinese agents successfully recruited insiders at companies involved in M24 production who provided manufacturing specifications, materials data, and production procedures. By the early 2000s, Chinese weapons designers possessed remarkably comprehensive information about the M24. Blueprints, material specifications, manufacturing tolerances, quality control procedures, and performance data. On paper, they had everything needed to produce equivalent rifles. The program to develop a Chinese M24 copy, designated Type 88, not to be confused with the Type 88 assault rifle, was assigned to China North Industries Corporation, Norinco, in 2003. Senior designer Huang Wei, an experienced firearms engineer who had worked on various Chinese small arms programs, was placed in technical charge. Wang examined the M24 data with growing concern. The rifle's extraordinary accuracy resulted from numerous factors that Chinese manufacturing would struggle to replicate. Barrel quality. The M24 barrel was manufactured from specialized ordnance steel with extremely consistent properties. The steel was cold hammer forged, a process that work-hardened the bore while maintaining dimensional precision. The rifling was cut to tolerances measured in 10,000ths of an inch, and the barrel was stress-relieved and cryogenically treated to enhance stability and accuracy. Action precision. The Remington 700 action that formed the M24's foundation was machined to tolerances far tighter than military small arms typically required. The bolt lockup, trigger mechanism, and receiver threads all demanded precision that Chinese machine tools and operators would find challenging to achieve consistently. Stock stability. The M24's composite stock maintained dimensional stability across temperature extremes and moisture variations. Chinese composite manufacturing couldn't match these properties, and alternative materials like wood or aluminum would expand, contract, or warp, degrading accuracy. Ammunition consistency. The M24's accuracy depended partly on match-grade ammunition manufactured to tolerances far tighter than standard military ammunition. Bullet weight variations were measured in fractions of a grain. Propellant charges were precise to within hundredths of a grain, and cartridge overall length was held to thousandths of an inch. We're attempting to replicate precision manufacturing that American industry has refined over decades, Hung told program supervisors during initial planning. Every dimension matters for accuracy. Variations of even a few thousandths of an inch in critical dimensions will degrade precision. We'll need exceptional quality control and manufacturing discipline to achieve M24-level accuracy. Hung's concerns were noted but largely dismissed. The program had political momentum and nationalist fervor behind it. Chinese leadership wanted domestic sniper rifles that matched Western capabilities, and engineers who suggested this was difficult were accused of defeatism. The directive was clear: produce Chinese M24 equivalents within 3 years, using whatever materials and processes Chinese industry could provide.
The manufacturing reality. Production of Type 88 prototypes began in 2004, and problems emerged immediately. Chinese steel mills couldn't produce ordnance steel with the consistency of American equivalents. Barrels manufactured from Chinese steel showed variations in hardness, internal stress patterns, and dimensional stability that affected accuracy. Our barrel steel is adequate for assault rifles and machine guns, explained the metallurgist, but not for precision rifles, where barrel harmonics and thermal properties critically affect accuracy. American barrel steel has extremely consistent properties throughout. Ours has variations, sometimes subtle, sometimes significant, that create accuracy problems we can't easily predict or correct. The barrel manufacturing process revealed further limitations. China lacked cold hammer forging equipment equivalent to what American manufacturers used. Chinese barrels were produced using button rifling or cut rifling processes with less sophisticated equipment. The resulting barrels had rougher bores, less consistent rifling dimensions, and greater internal stresses than American barrels. We're producing barrels that look correct and will function reliably, the barrel production supervisor reported, but we can't achieve the consistency that precision accuracy requires. One barrel might shoot 1-inch groups at 100 meters. Another from the same production run might shoot 3-inch groups. We're seeing variations that would be unacceptable for a precision rifle. The Action manufacturing faced similar challenges. The Remington 700 Action demanded precision machining, with tolerances measured in 10,000ths of an inch. Chinese machine tools, while adequate for many applications, couldn't consistently maintain such tight tolerances across production runs. Operators lacked the experience and training to work to such demanding standards. The result was actions where bolt lockup varied from rifle to rifle, where headspace wasn't consistent, and where the trigger mechanisms showed performance variations. These inconsistencies directly affected accuracy. The same ammunition fired from different rifles would produce different points of impact because the mechanical systems weren't identical. We're seeing headspace variations that American manufacturers would reject, admitted the quality control supervisor. Some rifles are within specification, others are marginal. We're accepting units that American QC would send back for rework because rejecting everything marginal would make production rates politically unacceptable. The stock production revealed yet another obstacle. Chinese composite material technology lagged American capabilities significantly. The composite materials Chinese factories could produce were heavier, less dimensionally stable, and more prone to warping under temperature and moisture changes than American equivalents. We tried using composites similar to what the Americans use, but our materials don't perform the same way. They expand and contract more with temperature changes. They absorb moisture and warp. We've had to use different materials, but every alternative has compromises that affect accuracy.
The testing nightmare. Initial accuracy testing of Type 88 prototypes in 2005 revealed the catastrophic extent of manufacturing inadequacies. When tested from bench rest with match-grade ammunition under controlled conditions, the rifles showed accuracy far inferior to M24 standards. The best Type 88s shot groups of approximately 2 to 3 inches at 100 meters, acceptable for military rifles, but far short of the M24's sub-inch capability. Average Type 88s shot groups of 4 to 6 inches at 100 meters, barely adequate for a precision rifle. The worst examples shot groups exceeding 8 inches, completely unacceptable for sniper use. Perhaps most troublingly, individual rifles showed inconsistency, shooting well one day, poorly the next, suggesting instability in the systems. We're not achieving anything close to M24 accuracy levels, the test director reported. The M24 shoots half-inch groups at 100 meters consistently. Our best rifles shoot 4 to 6 times that. And the inconsistency means snipers can't rely on the rifles. They might shoot well during training, then fail when it matters. Extended testing revealed additional problems. Zero retention. The Type 88's zero, the relationship between where the sights were aimed and where bullets struck, shifted unpredictably. Temperature changes, rough handling, or simply firing numerous rounds would cause point of impact to move, sometimes by several inches at 100 meters. American M24s maintained zero through thousands of rounds and extreme conditions. Barrel heating. The Type 88's barrels heated rapidly during sustained firing, and as they heated, point of impact shifted significantly. The first shot might hit the bullseye, but subsequent shots would walk progressively away as the barrel heated unevenly. American barrels manufactured to tighter tolerances with better heat treatment showed minimal shift. Ammunition sensitivity. The Type 88 showed extreme sensitivity to ammunition variations.
Different ammunition lots would produce dramatically different accuracy, with some lots shooting acceptably while others produced awful groups. The M24, with its superior barrel and action, was much more forgiving of ammunition variations. Mechanical reliability. The Type 88's actions showed problems uncommon in M24s. Bolt binding, extractor failures, feeding problems with certain ammunition types. These weren't catastrophic failures, but annoying reliability issues that degraded confidence in the system. We have fundamental problems that can't be fixed without redesigning and remanufacturing major components, Wang reported after reviewing test results. The barrels aren't consistent enough, the actions aren't precise enough, the stocks aren't stable enough. We're not going to achieve M24 level accuracy with current manufacturing capabilities. We either need to invest years in improving our precision manufacturing, or we accept that our rifles will be significantly inferior to American equivalents.
The pressure to deploy. Huang's recommendation to delay deployment pending manufacturing improvements was rejected. The Type 88 program had consumed years and significant resources. Chinese military leadership wanted domestic sniper rifles regardless of their limitations. The political investment was too great to admit failure. We'll accept reduced accuracy compared to the M24, officials decided. Chinese snipers don't need to match American performance. Adequate accuracy for most military applications is sufficient. The Type 88 will enter service and be improved through ongoing development. This decision to field rifles known to have serious accuracy problems because admitting inadequacy was politically unacceptable would directly affect Chinese military effectiveness and sniper confidence. Type 88 rifles began entering service with Chinese military sniper units in 2007. Snipers receiving the new rifles were told they had equipment comparable to Western sniper systems. Initial reactions were positive. The rifles looked professional, felt well-balanced, and seemed sophisticated compared to the elderly rifles they replaced. But field use quickly revealed the accuracy problems the testing had already identified. Inconsistent zero. Snipers discovered their rifle zero shifted unpredictably. A rifle carefully zeroed on Monday might be off by several inches by Friday for no apparent reason. Temperature changes, transportation vibration, or simply firing the rifle would cause zero to shift. You couldn't trust the rifle, recalled one sniper. You'd spend hours getting it perfectly zeroed, then the next day it would be off. You never knew if your zero was still good or if you needed to re-zero before every mission. That uncertainty destroyed confidence. Poor accuracy. Even when properly zeroed, the Type 88 couldn't shoot as accurately as promised. Shots that should have been easy hits at 400, 500 meters were misses because the rifle simply couldn't group tightly enough. Snipers accustomed to making first-round hits found themselves needing multiple shots, revealing their positions and endangering missions. Ammunition problems. Chinese military ammunition, manufactured to less stringent standards than American match-grade ammunition, produced wildly varying accuracy from the Type 88. One ammunition lot might shoot acceptably, the next would produce groups twice as large. Snipers had no way to know if poor accuracy was due to the rifle, the ammunition, or both. We started testing ammunition before missions, another sniper explained. We'd fire a few rounds to see how that particular lot was shooting from our particular rifle. It was insane. Every rifle ammunition combination was different. There was no standardization, no consistency, no confidence.
Field disasters. The Type 88's inadequacies were exposed dramatically during military exercises and limited real-world operations. 2008 Tibet incidents. During civil unrest in Tibet, Chinese military snipers were deployed to provide overwatch and, if necessary, precision engagement capability. The snipers, equipped with Type 88 rifles, discovered their weapons couldn't achieve the accuracy needed for the missions assigned.
Multiple snipers reported missing shots at ranges under 400 meters, distances where competent snipers with adequate equipment should achieve near-certain hits. Quote, "We were embarrassed," one sniper admitted years later. "We had supposedly advanced equipment, extensive training, and we couldn't hit targets at ranges that should have been routine. The rifles just weren't accurate enough. We were reduced to either moving much closer, which defeated the purpose of using sniper rifles, or accepting that we might need multiple shots and probably wouldn't hit reliably." Training exercise failures. During joint exercises with foreign militaries, Chinese snipers found themselves outperformed by counterparts using Western equipment. Where foreign snipers achieved first-round hits at 600 to 800 meters, Chinese snipers struggled to hit consistently at 400 meters. The performance gap was so obvious that it became a source of humiliation. Quote, "We trained hard, we were skilled, but our equipment let us down. Foreign snipers could do things we couldn't, not because they were better trained, but because they had rifles that actually worked as precision instruments. Our rifles were adequate at shorter ranges, but fell apart in terms of accuracy beyond 400 meters. Equipment confidence crisis. Perhaps the most damaging consequence was loss of confidence. Snipers who couldn't trust their rifles to hit where aimed lost the psychological edge critical to sniper operations. Second-guessing equipment led to hesitation, overcorrection, and missed opportunities. Quote, "A sniper needs absolute confidence in their rifle," end quote. You see the target, you know the range and wind, you aim, and you squeeze the trigger knowing the bullet will go exactly where you're aiming. With the Type 88, we never have that confidence. You'd aim and you'd hope the rifle was shooting straight that day. Hope your zero hadn't shifted. Hope you'd gotten a good ammunition lot. Hope isn't what snipers should be operating on.
The cover-up and quiet improvements. Chinese military authorities never publicly acknowledged the Type 88's accuracy problems. State media featured photographs of Chinese snipers with their rifles, and official statements claimed domestic sniper capabilities matched Western standards. Foreign observers who didn't have access to actual performance data assumed Chinese sniper rifles were reasonably capable. The reality was very different. Within Chinese military circles, the Type 88's inadequacies were widely known. Snipers complained to their commanders, unit commanders reported problems up the chain, and eventually, quietly, changes began. Selective issue. Type 88 rifles were carefully tested, with the most accurate examples issued to elite units likely to face actual combat. Less accurate rifles went to second-line units where they would be used primarily for training and ceremonial purposes. Import alternatives. Chinese Special Operations Forces and elite units quietly received imported Western sniper rifles, Russian Dragunov variants, Austrian Steyr rifles, and in some cases, actual American weapons acquired through various channels. This tacit admission that domestic rifles were inadequate was never publicly acknowledged. Ammunition improvements. Recognition that ammunition quality affected accuracy led to development of better military ammunition, though quality still lagged Western match-grade standards significantly. Ongoing development. Improved versions designated Type 88A and Type 10 incorporated refinements aimed at addressing accuracy problems, with some improvement but never achieving parity with Western systems.
The fundamental failure. The Type 88's problems stemmed from attempting to replicate precision manufacturing without possessing the industrial ecosystem that made such precision possible. Materials science, American barrel steel, action steel, and composite materials represented decades of metallurgical and materials engineering refinement.
Chinese materials were adequate for many applications, but lacked the consistency and specialized properties precision rifles required. Manufacturing precision. American precision rifle manufacturing employed 5-axis CNC machining centers, robotic systems for consistent operations, and quality control using coordinate measuring machines accurate to millionths of an inch. Chinese facilities had less sophisticated equipment, operated by less experienced personnel with less rigorous quality standards. Quality systems. American manufacturers rejected components outside narrow tolerance bands, ensuring every rifle met stringent accuracy standards. Chinese manufacturers, under pressure to meet production quotas, accepted marginal components, resulting in rifles that varied widely in performance. Accumulated expertise. American precision rifle manufacturing benefited from accumulated knowledge spanning decades, understanding of how minute dimensional variations affected accuracy, knowledge of heat treatment effects on barrel life, experience with stock materials and their behaviors. Chinese manufacturers were attempting to compress this learning curve through copying, inevitably missing subtle details that separated adequate rifles from precision instruments. The M24 isn't just a rifle, it's the product of American precision manufacturing excellence, explained a Western firearms expert. Every dimension, every surface finish, every heat treatment reflects accumulated knowledge about what affects accuracy. You can steal specifications, but you can't steal the industrial ecosystem and expertise that makes those specifications achievable. China tried, and the Type 88 demonstrates what happens when you attempt precision manufacturing without the foundation to support it.
The continuing struggle. As of the 2020s, China continues producing sniper rifles with ongoing improvements but persistent problems. The QBU-88 and newer designs show incremental accuracy gains, but reports suggest they still lag Western equivalents in precision, consistency, and zero retention. Chinese military snipers, when speaking anonymously online or to researchers, consistently express frustration with their equipment. They describe rifles that are adequate at shorter ranges but unreliable at the extended ranges where snipers should excel. They report ongoing zero retention problems, ammunition sensitivity, and the lack of confidence that comes from equipment that doesn't perform consistently. The contrast with American military snipers' absolute confidence in their M24s and the newer M2010 that replaced it is stark. American snipers trust their rifles implicitly, knowing that if they do everything correctly, the bullet will go exactly where aimed. Chinese snipers have no such confidence, always wondering if their equipment will perform properly. The economic and human costs have been substantial. China has invested billions in sniper programs over 2 decades while producing rifles that remain inferior to Western equivalents. Chinese snipers have been equipped with weapons that limit their effectiveness, undermine their confidence, and sometimes cause them to fail missions or lose competitive exercises due to equipment inadequacies rather than lack of skill or training.
The lesson repeatedly ignored. The Type 88 story illustrates truths about precision manufacturing that the Chinese military-industrial establishment has struggled to accept. Precision can't be faked. Accuracy requires precision in every component and every manufacturing operation.
Small variations that might be acceptable for other applications are catastrophic for precision rifles. Chinese manufacturing could approximate M24 components, but couldn't achieve the consistency, precision accuracy demanded. Quality control is paramount. Precision rifles require rejecting components outside narrow tolerance bands, even when this reduces production rates. Chinese emphasis on meeting production quotas undermined quality control, allowing marginal components into finished rifles. Accumulated expertise matters. Understanding what affects accuracy, how to test effectively, and how to identify and correct problems comes from experience accumulated over decades. Chinese attempts to shortcut this learning through copying couldn't replicate the subtle knowledge that separated adequate from excellent. Some capabilities can't be stolen. Espionage provided specifications and procedures, but couldn't transfer the industrial capabilities and institutional knowledge that made M24 production possible. Precision manufacturing requires building genuine capability rather than copying appearance. China eventually learned these lessons, but at enormous cost in wasted resources and degraded military effectiveness. The patient development of genuine precision manufacturing capabilities that should have occurred before attempting to produce sniper rifles instead happened after years of fielding inadequate weapons. The enduring reality. The M24 that China tried to copy continues in evolved forms with American forces and has been exported to dozens of nations worldwide. Its reputation for accuracy, reliability, and ruggedness remains unmatched. American snipers trust their M24s absolutely, knowing the rifles will perform flawlessly when lives depend on precision. The Type 88 and its descendants remain what they've always been, rifles that look like precision sniper systems but can't deliver the accuracy that defines precision rifles. They satisfy the political need to claim domestic sniper capability while delivering performance that undermines confidence and limits effectiveness. For Chinese snipers who have trained hard, mastered their craft, and done everything right only to watch their equipment fail them, the Type 88 represents betrayal. Leaders who valued political face over capability. An industrial system that produced equipment that looked right but didn't work properly. And decades of wasted opportunity while China's adversaries equipped their snipers with genuine precision instruments. The story deserves remembering not just as a failed weapons program, but as a lesson about the costs of attempting technological shortcuts, the importance of building genuine capability rather than copying appearance, and the human consequences when soldiers are equipped with weapons that can't perform as promised. The young snipers who struggled with Type 88 rifles that couldn't hit reliably deserved better equipment from a system that valued capability over politics, equipment that worked as precision instruments should, inspiring confidence rather than doubt. They never received it, and their effectiveness suffered accordingly. Another casualty of a system that prioritized appearance over substance and political objectives over battlefield reality.
Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to support the channel.